Okay, it's the fifth. This volume 15. See what we have today, if anything. What the? Oh. It's like a piece of art. Kind of makes me, the shape of his head makes me think of Stewie from Family Guy.
Make any joke you want, you know I look good.
There's that ESL wheeling combo again. And then just a normal 320 by itself. Oh no, here's these again. You thought you'd seen the last one in volume 14? Well, you're wrong. There's a lot more of them. Yeah, there's that again. Again, why is that here? Because I think that's a British character. Let's see. Here we go. See? Yeah, see? That's... And see, it's still being made for, you know, TV shows and stuff. 2016. Yeah, see, there's nothing about, you know, it being here in the States. So anyway, back to this. Try to remember the link to that article. Oh yeah. Yep, 83R. Not really a knockoff, but it is somewhat and it isn't. Because it uses the same housing as it, but as it does. Whatever. Water pick again. We've seen that before. And that stuff we saw yesterday. Okay, it's the 9th. Missed yesterday. Rochester, of course. Mom had a couple appointments. You might have seen it on Facebook, but this girl was playing piano there. And, you know, she wasn't like obligated to play it, but she just volunteered her time to play. The last thing she played was Xanarkern from Final Fantasy X. I immediately recognized it. Oh, and there's some of those again. Got a new phone, too. Galaxy S7 Edge. Nice. I like it already. Here's one of those. Not sure which detector, if any, I'll get it for a stocking stuff for this year. Or maybe fire alarm. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but those Edwards Genesis horns that you've seen way long time ago. Way a long time ago, that doesn't make any sense. But those, I got those for stocking stuffers that year. Stocking stuffers? Oh boy. But that's the stuff I saw the other day. I'll probably be making a best eBay finds of 2016 video soon. But I think you all know what's going to be number one. Well, I didn't recognize that from the other day, so... But yeah, I think you all know what's going to be number one. Actually, I might not even count it as number one because that would be so obvious. I think the package is yellowed there. I don't think the detector itself is yellowed. Usually the package goes that way. I found this cool Sears, or flea market here in Austin back in June where the package was all yellowed, but the detector was still white as can be. That's probably stuff we saw yesterday. I mean, what, Wednesday. Okay, it's the 10th. Let's see what we have today. Those double sensor ones. What the heck? Oh, that's part of the package. See? Like right there and there. Part of the cardboard or label or whatever. There's another one. I think it's the same seller too. Yep, same seller. There's that full brush one again. There's a Gentex. Semi-new. Wish it were that second generation of the GX100. If it were, I couldn't claim to be the first one on the internet or on YouTube with one, because I'd be wrong. New Age Server actually has one, even though he hasn't posted a video of it yet or anything. He posted a picture to me on Facebook Messenger a couple months ago. It was actually the day, I think I mentioned this before, but it was the day that they were really tearing down the mall. But anyway, the problem with his is, if you remember mine, there's the wires are kind of a two-part. You have the wires that come from the detector and then that kind of connector thing. Then the other part is the wires that, just a sec. Well, anyway, what was I? Yeah, there was the two parts of the wires, the ones that come out of the detector, and then that, like the clasp or the connector. Yeah, connector. Then there's the other wires that connect to that, and then you'd connect to the actual, power wires to that. And since his don't have that part, he'd actually have to cut the connector off if he wanted to power it up. There was actually one like that a couple years ago on eBay. That same thing. Didn't have the actual connecting wires. Again, I think I mentioned that before. That was Mom, if you were wondering. Those are the addressable ones again. There's that GE, which is again mislabeled. We've seen that before. And there's stuff we've seen in the page, so. Okay, it's the 12th. An old creamed lifesaver. I meant discolored, but I missed yesterday because, what else? Like yep, 21 2012 and 23 2012, and that's anyway. Yeah, Saturday, my sister Jess and her boyfriend came over to Mom and Dad's, and I went over there too. And then, since we were gonna get a big snowstorm, I decided just to stay there rather than risk, having Mom or Dad driving back here in the storm. Well, I just stayed there most of yesterday. There's that one again. And that. Not seeing that much else though. Snoopy one again. 83R. There's some smoke check spray. That again. I think we've seen that before. American Sensors. Older Lifesaver. There's that one again. I think that was less. Here's less. I might go for that for a stocking stuffer. Actually, Thursday, I was at the Rochester Public Library and I was reading a book on wiring, and the section on smoke alarms had a picture of that. What's this one? Yep, this is the RS, I think. I think this is that same RS. The Ziv's the same one. The Ziv's? Well, I was just going to show the box. I think this is the one that my friend is going to bid on again. I think you remember a couple times ago, and I saw it, and then I mentioned that he had won it, but then it fell through. One of my friends won the first alert, but sadly, I'm not sure if it's going to go through. So there was a problem with the... But there it is again, so... Oh, and that stuff we saw the other day. So let's go back up to that. Code 1. Alright, I'm going to try on this thing. If I don't win, that's fine. There we go. And I'll be monitoring this one too. This looks like only one bid, so hopefully you'll get it this time. Truly get it. Okay, it's the 13th. I'm still high bidder on this one. And, yep, my friend's still high bidder on that one. So now let's get to normal browsing here. There's that picture again. We've seen before. What's that? That's cool. That's right. I saw that on Instagram a couple months ago. I think Kid of themselves put it on there. Maybe with someone else. Was that Sears again? How old is that one? Probably not too old. Probably isn't the one that looks like a Honeywell. Okay, it's the 14th. Still high bidder on that. Yeah, it looks like my friend's still high bidder on this one. So let's get to browsing. See if there's anything. Huh. That'd actually be the current issue. Smart smoke detector. I'd have to check in on that. Probably like the Nest Protect and the First Alert One Link. I remember there have been several detectors throughout the years on this old house. There's a smoke signal SS700. Another where they installed the i3 with the freeze sensor. There's those ESLs again. I think there was a couple other ones too. On that Ask This Old House, there was a ESL 445 in their kind of their main like studio or whatever. And as I mentioned in the Smoke Sentinel video, a lady had one in her house, and there was one with the SA10YR. And then just recently, there was one where they installed some First Alert detectors in the lady's house that only had one of them. That's actually on their YouTube channel. So, and I think this might be stuff we saw yesterday. I think I mentioned to you in one of their books, there was a 907 at the bottom of the stairway. Yep, that stuff I saw yesterday. It's the 15th. 10 more days to Christmas. And I'm still a bit high bidder on that. And my friend's still high bidder on that. So now let's go back to browsing. Now watch, there'll be a cooler detector than that. Maybe not. We'll see. A lot of those again, though. Oh, geez. Here we go. And that Pyrex yet again. That poor thing. Still got to remember to pick up this old house magazine at the store. We've seen that before. Well, I think this is stuff we've seen yesterday. I recognize those. When I see the magazine, then that confirms it. Well, yeah, because I remember those. And no, there it is. So yeah. Alright, on to the next day. Okay, it's the 16th. As you can see, I'm still high bidder on this one. On mine. And then, yep, my friend's still high bidder on this one. So, let's get to actual browsing here. That's cool. Yep, there's the horn. There. Horn intermittent sound, trouble, continuous sound, alarm. It's cool. I think we've seen one like this before. Cool. Nothing right there. Got a big snowstorm coming. Not a really big one, but significant. Also, I checked for that This Old House magazine. Can't find it around here. I checked Walmart. They didn't have it. I checked Hy-Vee, which is a regional grocery store chain. Of course, you know what that is, because, you know, my construction vlog, they didn't have it. And I checked Shopko, which is, again, is a local chain. And you've seen that. You know, like in my mall video, and then one of the Auction Chronicles video, I was walking through it. But anyway, they didn't have that, and they have a pretty good sized, magazine selection. But Mom and Dad are going up to Rochester Monday, so I'll see if they can find it at Barnes & Noble up there. And of course, you could say, why don't you just get that one there that you saw on eBay? I could, but there's that Sears. Yeah, Gateway Scientific one. I think this is, yep, this is one we've seen before, because I remember that. Again, for only the BRK one. It's still a cool one, though. These are pretty cool. BRK 1839i again. I think we've seen that one a couple times, too. And yeah, this stuff we saw yesterday. PS 17th. I'm still high bidder on this. And it's about to end. And my friend's still high bidder on this, too. But didn't see anything else, so let's cut to when these end. Okay, here's my friend's one. Minute 45 seconds left. Still only one bid. So far, he's going to get it. I almost clicked on that place bid button, but nope. I'm not going to, because I've already got a couple. And 1 minute left. Heck, this isn't even my auction, and my blood pressure's kind of up a little bit. Kind of having that same feeling. But I want him to win it, so that's why. Still only one bid. Probably would update anyway, but 40 seconds. Still only one. 30. $20 seconds left. And again, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh, but he's watching too. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Still one bid. 0. And then, yep. Let's see, yeah, only one bid. Yep, only one bid. He got it. He got it. Awesome. So now, I still have 2 hours on mine, so. Oh, and by the way, let's hope it pans out this time, like I said before. And he actually gets the alarm. Alright, on to mine. Okay, here's mine. A minute left. I'm doing this narration in post here, because when it was actually ending, I was doing a little Christmas concert for Mom. I was playing my drums along with some music from Google Play that I had going through the computer from my tablet. And I thought I would pick up that, so. But evidently it doesn't, or didn't. Anyway. And 30 seconds left. So like I said, this is going to be my stocking stuffer. I had my eye on the screen here while it was counting down. Not much I could do if suddenly, someone suddenly bid, but whichever. 10, 9, 8, 10. Skipped 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, skipped 2 also. And got it. So, that's cool. Yes, I did buy it. Yes, I did pay. So, that'll be coming, and you'll see this video. Okay, it's the 18th. As you saw, yesterday was a good day. There's the old 462 again. Let's see, what was it? I was just thinking of another detector. Oh yeah, the other one that I'd like is the Code 1 2000 auto test one. Because it was in the same article as the vocal alert. It actually will sound itself every week for 10 seconds. Never seen one though. I'm sure people who've installed them probably took them back down thinking that they're malfunctioning. But anyway, those are cool. I think you've seen one because I've got one. And then, who was it? SER Safety. I think he's got a couple installed in his house. There's an 83R. The other one I'd like too, I mentioned that before, is called the Megahorn. It's also a Code 1 model. Is that thing again? Is that stuff we saw yesterday? I think it might be. Even though you didn't see it, because I said I didn't see much yesterday, but I think this is stuff I saw yesterday. Yeah, I finally decided to start. Anyway, it's the 20th. My friend posted on Facebook they had won it, and it's on its way. And mine's on its way too. Oh no. There those are again. Well, I don't think those should even be on here. There's a little discolored kidda. I had a Christmas party for the company that helps me last night. Is that no. But anyway, yeah. Is that our bowling alley? I've seen my Facebook and or what's that? Oh, another one of those things. Oh wait. Anyway, you might have seen my Facebook and or Instagram post. They have what many Austin residents consider the best fries in town. And that's saying something. But I 100% agree. They have real good fries there. When I bowled with our ARC a couple years ago, we bowled 2 games. So I bowl one, and then order the fries, and tell them which lane I was on, and then start the second game, and it would be there. But anyway, I think this is stuff we saw before. Yesterday. Yep, I recognize those, and here's more of these stupid things again. Anyway, let's go to these. These are pretty cool. I'm not sure who makes these for them. Almost looks like maybe GEESL. Almost. Judging from this design, kind of looks like their design at the watch list. Because there's a cool video online on YouTube about these. Sadly, it's kind of a low resolution, so you can't see them very well. But yeah, these are cool. I like the chrome logo there. And not this chrome either. Ha ha ha. It's the 21st. It's more 9710s. There's that 79R again. That Melted Wards picture. My detector should be here any time now, so any day now.
Any day now. When the clock strikes go.
Found that out yesterday. Well, it's the 22nd. Not sure if you heard yesterday over the song, but my brother Jeff and his wife are coming up for Christmas weekend. So I'm excited for that. So I'll probably miss those days, of course. That picture again. There's an IOFIG. Like one of those sometime. But I think if they're... Oh, here's these again. But anyway, if they're available next month, I think I'm going to go for those D-Tech detectors. Pretty cool. But maybe not. We'll see. Uh-oh. It's an older simplex. Addressable, I do believe. Okay, it's the 26th. Anyway, I hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you got what you wanted. If you celebrate that. Or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whichever. We had a good one. As I mentioned, my brother and his wife came up Friday night. Went to our local Chinese restaurant. Saturday was a shopping day. We went to Yonkers and then Shopko, and then when Jeff was using Dad's snowblower, he noticed that one of the drive belts was loose. So they took it to this local hardware store. Yeah, where was it? Like Adams or something like that. No, Rose Creek. What's this? Fire alert. Oh, it is one of those. Cool. See, it's made by Kidda. You've seen it, because I've got the hardwired one. Then we've seen the fuller brush version, too. Anyway, and then Mom and Jeff's wife were at the Yonkers, and then we came back and joined them. That thing's weird. And then yesterday we had our Christmas. Let's see, just a sec. Yeah, 320. My sister Jess got me one of those Bell & Howell flashlights. They're pretty nice. And Jeff's got me these chocolate-covered pretzels. Then they left that afternoon, and then I came back today. Well, I already knew that I was getting that flashlight because, you know, I told Jeff what I wanted. And I got two of them for Jeff and Jess's boyfriend. See, Jeff got Dad the Revenant movie.
What is
I watched
this?
that last night.
Oh, the Revenant.
Dad, Mom, at least, because Jeff's already home.
Thank you.
And Mom got like Mom and Dad also got a slide thing, digitizer. You put your slide in, then you can digitize it to a picture. Other than that, fire alert, I'm not seeing anything. Which is good for my bank account. Because for all the gifts and cards and stuff, almost in the red. I'm not even sure if I mentioned that, but my older sister, Steph, the one I keep mentioning, and her family are in Disney World right now. They're going to be there until the beginning of this next year, like January 2nd or something, then they'll be coming back. Mom and Dad are babysitting their dog Ellie here. That's a picture of her with Jeff. I think this is stuff we've seen, because I remember that thing.
I love you.
I know.
May the Force be with you.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Okay, it's the 28th. There's those 907s again. Of course, she died yesterday, but I already done my recording. I didn't see anything, so I didn't want to do a re-record. Yeah, it's sad.
I'm a member of the
Sad.
Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
93.
Alderaan is peace, but we have no weapons.
First alert. SA-67.
I've always hated watching you leave.
This is our most desperate hour.
29th. Yep. Her mom died yesterday, only a day after she did. It's sad. Hopefully my mom doesn't die for a long time. I love her so much. It'll be a sad day when she does. And like I said, I hope that doesn't happen for a long time. But you never know God's plans for us. But anyway, let's get on to this. And a lot of those things too. Wait, there's another vigilante. This one's got the button, I think. Well, see, it's another hardwired one. They're pretty cool. I've talked about them before. Oh, there's 7 available too. Oh, wait. Oh. The Intronic logo there. And you can see the horn right there. It's 7 available. It's next year. Or next month. Would be next year. Just might get one. And there's that GE again. I think we've seen that before. Yep. Other than those, I don't see anything. Yeah, Vigilante's pretty cool. Hardwired ones. No, there's those smoke guards and that's it. Okay, it's the 5th. Haven't seen anything the last few days. Sunday, Seth came home. And Ellie was sure happy. But we played a trick. Put Ellie out on the deck because they had called us. And told us that they were heading back. So we put her on the deck, close to vertical blinds. Then they came in and sat on the couch in the living room. Then Dad opened the door and the blinds and she just went zooming down to the stairs. Down the basement to try to find them. Up and back up in the main level. There's a... or not main level, but our landing. Anyway, there's a, ADT. Went back downstairs and back upstairs and she saw him. It was like a nice heartwarming thing. Here's a video of it with some sound effects I put in. Alright, quiet! 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 She's happy! She is happy now.
Oh, she got to kiss everybody.
Jeez.
Can't get closer.
Yeah, they had fun at Disney World. They got me a pair of drumsticks from... what was it?
Hang that's for you. That came from Aerosmith. Aerosmith has their own roller coaster.
Smoke alarm transmitter, huh? I don't think it's no, it's not a detector itself. There's a Honeywell. What's that one? Yeah, CD200. As I said with the other ones, if we're only the one with the light, it'd be my first detector of 2017, but nope. And the CD200s are still nice. I'm pretty sure this is the stuff I saw earlier.